Stop using ChatGPT like this. Because if you're like most people, you open it, you type something quickly, you hit enter, and then you look at the result and think, why does this feel off? Why is this so generic? Why does this change every time? And after a while, it starts to feel random, unreliable, like you can't really depend on it. But here's the part most people don't realize. It's not random. It just looks that way. And here's the promise. By the end of this video, you're going to understand why ChatGPT feels inconsistent, what's actually causing it, and how to get consistent, predictable results, using a simple way of interacting with it that most people completely ignore. Stay with me here for a minute, because once you see this, it will start to make sense why ChatGPT feels so inconsistent. Let's start with what most people are doing right now, because this is where everything begins. You open ChatGPT, and you type something like, explain this topic, write an email, help me plan my day. Short, fast, one sentence, and that makes sense, because that's how we've been trained to use tools. Quick input to quick output. But here's the problem. That only works if the tool already understands you. And ChatGPT doesn't. It doesn't know how you like things explained, how simple you need it, what you already understand, what you don't, what tone you prefer, what you're trying to achieve. So when you give it a short input, it fills in the gaps, and sometimes it guesses right, sometimes it doesn't. That's why it feels inconsistent. This is where most people get stuck, because they think, I just need to ask better questions. So they try again, maybe add one more sentence, maybe rephrase, but they're still doing the same thing. They're treating each message like a one-shot attempt. And that's the real issue. ChatGPT works best as an interaction, not a single prompt. Let's make this real. Think about how people are actually using ChatGPT every day. Someone is trying to understand something. Explain inflation. Someone is writing a message. Rewrite this email. Someone is planning something. Help me plan my week. Someone is trying to make a decision. Which option is better? These are normal, everyday use cases. Nothing advanced. But here's what's missing in almost all of them. There's no setup, no guidance, no direction. So ChatGPT has to guess every time. And when it guesses, you get variation. And variation without control feels like inconsistency. Let's simplify this. If the input changes, the output changes. If the input is incomplete, the output becomes unpredictable. So the issue isn't the tool, it's the lack of direction. Now here's the part almost no one is using, even though it completely changes the experience. ChatGPT can be guided before you even start. You can tell it how to respond, how simple to be, what tone to use, what to avoid, not once, but as a default. This is what's called custom instructions. And most people either don't know it exists or don't realize how powerful it is. So every time they open ChatGPT, they start from zero. New conversation, new guessing, new inconsistency. Now imagine this instead. You open ChatGPT and it already knows. Explain things simply. Use step-by-step guidance. Avoid technical language. Focus on practical examples. Now every answer starts from the same foundation. That alone removes a huge amount of randomness. But this is only part of it. Because even with custom instructions, you still need to interact properly. And this is the part that usually goes unnoticed. People think once they set something up, everything will just work. But ChatGPT still depends on how you guide it in the moment. So here's the shift. Stop thinking, how do I write the perfect prompt? Start thinking, how do I guide this step by step? Because that's how consistency is built. Let's walk through a simple example. Let's say you want to understand something. Most people type, explain how interest rates work, and they get an answer. Maybe it's okay, maybe it's confusing, so they try again, or they give up. Now watch what happens when you change the interaction. You start with, explain how interest rates work in simple terms. Better. Then you follow up, can you give me a real-life example? Now it becomes clearer. Then, explain it like I have no background in finance. Now it adapts. Then you go one step further. Summarize that in 3 simple points. Now it becomes usable. You didn't restart. You didn't rewrite everything. You guided. That's the difference. And this is where most people miss the opportunity, because they stop too early. They treat the first answer as final instead of a starting point. And this applies to everything. Writing, rewrite this message to sound more clear and calm. Then, make it shorter. Then, make it more friendly. Then remove anything that sounds too formal. Now you're shaping the output. Planning. Help me plan my week. Then make it more realistic. Then prioritize what matters most. Then turn this into a simple daily checklist. Now it becomes actionable. Learning, explain this concept. Then break it into steps. Then give me an example. Then test me on it. Now it becomes something you actually understand. This is how people actually use ChatGPT effectively. But most people stop at step 1. That's why it feels inconsistent. Quick pause for a second. If this already feels relatable, and you're starting to recognize your own pattern in this, then just take a second to like the video. That helps me understand that this kind of content is useful and that I'm explaining this in a way that actually connects. Now let's go deeper. Because there's another layer to this, and this is where consistency really starts to lock in. Even if you understand interaction, and even if you start guiding ChatGPT step by step, there's still one thing that can break consistency. Starting from 0 every time. Every new chat is a clean slate, which means new tone, new assumptions, new interpretation. So even if you do everything right, it can still feel slightly different each time. And this is exactly where custom instructions become powerful, because they remove that reset. Instead of explaining yourself again and again, you set the rules once. You define how ChatGPT should respond, what style you prefer, how simple things should be, what to focus on. Here's a simple example you could actually use. Use simple language. Explain things step by step. Give real-life examples. Avoid technical terms. Keep answers clear and practical. That's it. Now, every conversation starts from the same baseline. Not perfect, but consistent. And consistency is what builds trust. This is important, because most people don't stop using ChatGPT because it's bad. They stop using it because it feels unreliable. And once something feels unreliable, you stop depending on it. So the goal isn't perfection, it's predictability. Now here's how to think about this in a simple way. Custom instructions handle the starting point. Interaction handles the direction. And this is the part most people miss. You need both. If you only use custom instructions, but still rely on one-shot prompts, you'll still feel inconsistency. If you only interact well, but start from 0 every time, you'll still feel variation. Together, they create stability. Without them, you're always correcting after the fact. With them, you're guiding from the beginning. Now let's turn this into something you can actually use. Here's a simple workflow. Before you even ask anything, set your expectation. Explain this simply and step by step. Then ask your question. Then follow up. Give me an example. Then refine. Make it clearer. Make it shorter. Adjust this part. And if something feels off, don't restart. Just guide it. This is where the mindset shift happens. You stop testing the tool and start working with it. You stop expecting perfection and start building toward clarity. Quick note. Everything you're seeing here is based on real use. No shortcuts, no simulations. Just simple ways to actually use this, so you can apply it yourself. Now back to the main idea. The reason ChatGPT feels unreliable is not because it is unreliable. It's because of the way it's being used. Creates variability. One-shot inputs. No context. No continuity. That combination will always feel inconsistent. But when you set a baseline with custom instructions and guide the interaction step by step, something changes. It becomes predictable. And predictable is what you actually need. Because now you can rely on it. You know how to adjust it. You know how to improve the output. You know how to get closer to what you want. And that's where confidence starts to build. Not from perfect answers, but from a predictable process. Let's bring everything together. If you use ChatGPT in one shot, it feels random. If you reset every time, it feels inconsistent. But if you set direction first and guide step by step, it becomes stable. That's the shift. So next time you open ChatGPT, don't rush. Start with a little direction. Continue with small adjustments. And treat it like something you work with, not something you test once. If you do that, you'll notice something almost immediately. It stops feeling unpredictable and starts feeling useful. And once you reach that point, everything becomes easier. Because now you're not guessing anymore. you're guiding. If you found this helpful, if this helps you see ChatGPT differently, even if this gave you one small shift in how you use ChatGPT, and you're getting value from this, just leaving a like helps more than you think. It helps me understand what's useful for you, and it helps me keep improving this kind of content. And if you want more simple, practical ways to actually use AI without feeling overwhelmed, consider subscribing. It tells me I'm on the right track, and to keep making this kind of content. And if there is something on your mind, feel free to leave a comment below. That's it for this one, and I'll see you in the next